Wow, you weren't kidding about the stack of info on Bakery Specialized Sellers. I'm already craving a croissant just looking at it. Ready to dig in.
Absolutely. Let's get this bread baking.
All right then. So we're talking Bakery Specialized Sellers, which, at first glance, seems pretty self-explanatory, right? You're selling baked goods. What's the big deal?
Well, the RoleCatcher career guide paints a more nuanced picture, actually.
Yeah, more to it than just bag and bagel.
Way more. It's a fascinating blend of artistry, customer connection, and even some business acumen. You're not just selling a
What?
loaf of bread, you're selling an experience.
Right. And with the rise of artisan bread and, let's be honest, Instagram-worthy pastries, that experience feels more important than ever.
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be in the bakery world.
Speaking of which, this post-processing thing mentioned in the guide, what's that all about? Is that where the artistry comes in?
Absolutely. Imagine a customer trying to decide between two croissants. The one that's been perfectly egg-washed, artfully scored, maybe even dusted with a little powdered sugar. That one's going to be way more tempting.
It's all about presentation.
Presentation is key. And it's not just about bread. Think about decorating cakes, adding fillings, or even just arranging those muffins in a way that makes people want to buy the whole dozen.
So you need to understand the science of baking, but also have that eye for detail, that artistic touch.
Exactly. It's about making the product visually appealing to enhance that delicious experience we were talking about.
Okay, so we've established this is more than just a job, it's a craft. But let's talk about the practical stuff, like what it takes to actually land one of these bakery specialized seller gigs.
Right, let's get down to brass tacks.
The RoleCatcher guide mentions flexible hours as a potential pro. Tempting, but knowing the bakery world, I'm guessing those flexible hours aren't always sunshine and roses.
Yeah, you got to be a bit of a night owl, or at least an early bird, for this one. Flexible often means early mornings or late nights to make sure everything is fresh for the customers.
Makes sense. Speaking of getting up early, I took a peek at the interview prep section in the guide. Tell me I don't have to bake a perfect baguette on the spot. My sourdough starter and I are not on speaking terms.
No worries, you don't need to be a master baker to apply.
Yeah.
Though some baking knowledge definitely wouldn't hurt.
Right.
But the RoleCatcher interview guide actually highlights customer service and communication as super important.
Oh, for sure. You'd be the face of the bakery, interacting with customers all day long.
Exactly. Think about it. Answering questions, making recommendations, maybe even helping someone pick out the perfect birthday cake.
Oh, the pressure. What if someone asks about ingredients or has dietary restrictions?
That's all part of it. The guide even suggests practicing how you'd handle customer conflicts, dietary needs, even demonstrating leadership qualities.
Leadership. So there's room to grow in this role, to move up the ranks.
Absolutely. This isn't just a job, remember. It's a career path. And the RoleCatcher guide lays out a pretty tasty-looking trajectory.
A career path with leadership potential. Color me intrigued. What does this upward trajectory look like for a bakery specialized seller?
Well, the RoleCatcher guide lays out a potential path from seller to senior seller, which could mean taking on more responsibility.
More responsibility like what?
Supervising others, managing inventory, maybe even helping to develop new products.
Whoa, from selling sourdough to dreaming up new creations. That's a pretty sweet gig.
Right. And the guide takes it a step further. It even mentions the possibility of one day owning your own bakery.
Wow. Talk about taking your passion and making it rise. But let's be real, not everyone's going to open their own bakery.
Of course not.
But even if someone isn't trying to build a bakery empire, the skills you learn in this role, they're pretty valuable, right?
Exactly. RoleCatcher points out other career paths you could explore, like delicatessen specialized seller or even meat and meat products specialized seller.
So it's all about that customer interaction, product knowledge, presentation. Those skills translate across different food-related fields.
Exactly. It's about that passion for food and connecting with people who share that passion. And speaking of connection, we can't forget about RoleCatcher itself. Their tools seem pretty incredible, especially for navigating the job market these days.
They really do. Applying for jobs can feel so overwhelming.
For sure, but RoleCatcher simplifies things. Their CV and resume builder can help you highlight your skills in a way that really stands out. And then there's that interview practice feature.
Oh, right. So you're not caught off guard when they ask you about your sourdough challenge yet.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect, right? And then there's that RoleCatcher.capture browser plugin.
That thing is like magic. It analyzes job descriptions and tells you exactly what skills to emphasize in your application.
It's like having a secret weapon for your job hunt. So whether you're drawn to the artistry of baking, the fast-paced world of customer service, or even the potential to become a baking boss one day, hopefully this deep dive has given you a taste of what a career as a bakery specialized seller could offer. And remember, with platforms like RoleCatcher, you have the tools and resources you need to rise to the occasion.
Well said. Now, you'll excuse me, I'm suddenly craving a croissant. And on that note, we'll leave you with this final thought. If you could create the perfect pastry to reflect your skills and personality, what would it be? What ingredients, flavors, and designs would truly capture your unique essence? Until next time, happy baking.